I like whenever you work out, or like right now I noticed because I was doing some jogging, cardio. Really didn't feel like it in the morning. I ate like shit last night. Um, so my blood felt like sludge, and but I still decided, I'm gonna go outside and push myself a little bit. I haven't been working out too much. Um, and there's something that happens, especially when I do cardio, because that's the fastest way that I can get to the point where um, I feel like I can't go any further. So I'll push myself to the point where I feel like my body wants to give up. Like physically, I feel too tired to continue. Um, and that's when I can get the closest to, um, yeah, it's like shattering my ego or something. I don't really know what it is, but I know I learned it a long time ago when I was very young. Uh, I specifically remember a very vivid moment when I used to be in ROTC in middle school, I think it was. And I was a little bit out of shape. Right now, I'm not in too good shape, but I was like overweight when I was younger in middle school. And our sergeant had us run a mile. I think it was 4 laps around a track that we had there at school. And I remember I was not prepared for it. Hadn't been working out, just playing a bunch of video games and being lazy at the time. Uh, so it's the first time I had worked out, like done anything that active in a long time. So we started jogging, and I remember I was already, I was done by the last lap. Like I was walking it towards the end. I couldn't finish the whole 4 laps. And then I remember our sergeant, big buff dude, good shape, tall guy. Well, from what I remember, I was in middle school at the time. He seemed like a huge dude. He reminded me of The Rock. He kind of I don't know, he just reminded me of him, like his attitude and the way he kind of looked. Um he said he was gonna take off on that last lap, and if he passed us, then we were gonna have to do the whole thing all over again. So I was like, fuck. There's no way I can do the whole thing all over again. So I was about halfway down the track, and then he started sprinting, fucking sprinting super fast. So I was like, fuck this. So it was me and some other kid that were right next to each other walking. So as soon as we saw him sprinting after he said if he passed us, we were gonna have to do the whole thing all over again. Both of us just took off as fast as we could, sprinting that last part of it. And I remember, because at the end I was done. I couldn't do it anymore. But when he said that, all of a sudden I was like, I wasn't thinking. I just did it out of like basically fear that I didn't want to have to do the whole thing all over again, because then I was going to die, right, at the time. So I forced myself to finish it, barely finished it before our sergeant passed us, so we didn't have to do the whole thing all over again. Um, and I remember afterwards I was super tired. I was seeing white flashes in my eyes. Like that's how exhausted I was. I think I was like dehydrated or something. I felt like I was gonna faint the rest of the day. Um, but that was the first time that I remember pushing myself past what I thought I was capable of. And then that triggered something in me after that had happened, because I started getting hungry more for that feeling of pushing myself right where I thought I couldn't go, and then pushing past it. So I started getting addicted to that. Got into some boxing classes, started getting really into working out, a lot of cardio stuff. And I got in really good shape. Um, yeah, I got in really good shape in high school. Um, and I remember it was because of that feeling that I started chasing. And I feel like part of it was because it was like shattering my ego of who I thought I was. It was constantly like breaking who I thought I was. Like I thought I had a certain limitation, and then I was consistently like I kept passing it, slowly over time, but I kept trying, even like with my push-ups, I could only do so many. Eventually I got up to over being able to do over 100 push-ups without breaks or without stopping, so I could do it consistently. And now I've seen people who can fucking do like, I think I saw one guy, I don't know if it's real, but he can do like 1,000 push-ups or some shit without stopping, so that's fucking crazy. But at the time when I was in high school, there was no one who could do as many push-ups or pull-ups. I could do, I think, 30, 31 pull-ups without stopping. um I could do a bunch of one-handed push-ups. I could jog probably like a 6-minute mile, something like that. um I thought I was in pretty good shape, but it's because I got addicted to that feeling of pushing past my limits. I don't do that anymore. But I think I realized what I was chasing. I was chasing that breaking of my ego. um I just wanted to strip the limitations of this body. And that's also what I'm still doing now, even like with semen retention. It's like I'm trying to just get rid of this limited feeling, like it's an illusion. And that's what I was seeing when I was pushing myself, is that I was starting to see that whatever barriers I was putting on myself was just in my mind. And the only thing that was stopping me was the fear of the pain that my body was communicating to me. So I would feel certain pain or discomfort, and my body would tell me, this is you. You need to stop. You're gonna get hurt. You're gonna die. And maybe it is dangerous. I don't know. But then I would realize that I don't have to listen to that part of me, even the discomfort and everything. I can push past it. Like there's another part of me that can go beyond what my body and my mind is telling me is impossible. And I got addicted to that feeling of transcending that. And I was just reminded of that right now when I was jogging, because I wanted to stop at a certain point, and I just kept going. So yeah, man, I think that's all I'm trying to do, is like I'm just trying to break past the illusion, because it just feels so real. It's so convincing. It's the ultimate VR game. It's so like, yeah, it feels so real. I mean, as far as I know, this is all that I remember. Oh, I'm fucking tired. I know I had something else to say, but I can't remember what it was. Something I was thinking about while I was jogging. Something about God. Something about God. Oh, yeah. Like when Jesus was, I mean, maybe that's why Jesus could go through so much pain. Is the same reason why people, because there's certain people that they do get addicted to that feeling of pushing past their boundaries. It may be something that Jesus already knew, is that, well, maybe Jesus really didn't have much of an illusion. That's why he could push so much. That's why he could get tortured, and die, because he didn't identify with the body. He could see past it, so he could allow all that pain to happen, but he didn't have to listen to it. Like same way, like yeah, like when I'm jogging or when other people push past their limits, especially with exercise. The only reason I'm using that example is because it's very instant. Like you can feel it very instantly when your body's telling you to stop, and then you say, "No, I'm gonna keep going, even though it hurts." So there's this other part of you, which, yeah, maybe that's the part of you that's connected with your spirit or with God or your higher self or whatever you want to call it. But that's the part of you that can push past the limitations of your body. And since Jesus was connected to God or that higher part of himself, it's like no matter how much his body was screaming, um, he was just so grounded in who he really was that he could just go through it and just like, yeah, yeah, I know it hurts, but we'll be okay. Can't really die. And we were never born either. Oh, that's another thing. I probably heard it somewhere, but I could never understand that. Is that, you know how, I don't know if that's mainstream science anymore, but I thought at one point it was like common knowledge amongst like intellectuals or scientists or whatever that once you die, you go into nothingness or there's no more experience because your brain shuts off. There's no more electrical activity, so there's no more consciousness or being generated from your brain, right? But I also don't. It doesn't make sense to me that they say you came from this nothingness. So to me, I have no memory uh, before this life that I have, and then all of a sudden, all this stuff comes up, right? This reality. Just all of a sudden, I start having this dream or this experience. All of a sudden, comes into it comes from nothing because first I was nothing. I didn't have any experience. Um, I didn't have any memories that I can think of. But the thing is, I'm thinking from the filter of my mind. So yeah, from the filter of my mind or the limitations of my mind, I don't have any memory of anything before. So I was just this nothing, and then I have all this stuff all of a sudden happening, and then I'm gonna go back to that nothing. But for people to say that that can never happen again when it happened, I mean, it already happened. I already didn't exist before, and now I'm existing now, and I'm not gonna exist again. So how do they know that that can't happen again? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyways, I'm just rambling on now. Fucking dog taking a shit on the side of the grass next to my apartment. That's nice. It's good for the grass. All right, guys. Well, see y'all later. God bless.